Six modern quizzers try to match one of the greatest performances in UK quiz show history. Will they succeed? Does the name Bill McKaig mean anything to you?
Nope.
Okay, so Bill McKaig scored the maximum possible score on 15-1 back in 1999. He got all 40 questions right and got the score of 433. So this is a challenge to see whether modern quizzers can get those 40 questions right and emulate the 433. So we're putting a bunch of people through this. Okay. You're going to get all 40 questions irrespective of what happens. So you appeared on the Classic Series in 1991. Michael Smith, this is your attempt at the 433 challenge. Okay, so let's go. So question 1, the history of medicine. In 1948, a modern version of which oath was drawn up by the World's Medical Association in Geneva?
Hippocratic Oath.
Correct. History of television from the 1960s and 70s. The police constables Jock Weir, Burt Lynch and Bob Steele appeared in which police drama set in the fictional town of Newtown?
Z Cars?
Correct. Shakespeare. Which Shakespeare play is set in ancient Britain and opens in a palace of the elderly king who has decided to give up his kingdom and divide it among his daughters?
King Lear.
It is King Lear, yeah. 20th century Britain. What's the significance of the dates August the 9th, 1902, June the 23rd, 1911, May the 12th, 1937, and June the 2nd, 1953?
They are coronation dates, I think.
Correct. Sporting records. The record time for this 4.5 mile event stands at 8 minutes 47.8 seconds, which was set in 1990 by Mr. Frisk. Which famous event?
Grand National.
Correct. In English law, what is deemed to be the first priority for payment from the estate of a deceased person?
Creditors?
No, it's funeral expenses.
Oh.
The Bible, the New Testament. Who in Revelations chapter 6 symbolise conquest, slaughter, famine and pestilence?
The horsemen of the apocalypse.
Correct. Literature. What sort of creature in P.G. Woodhouse's book is the Empress of Blandings?
Pig.
Correct. Science. Mount Wilson in California, Siding Spring in Australia, and Mauna Kea in Hawaii. What is the scientific connection?
They've all got massive telescopes.
Yes.
Observant.
Yes. Television 1960s. In which series from the 1960s was the character John Drake, a troubleshooter for NATO's Secret Service Department?
Wow. Is that the one with Jason? What's his name? Can't remember.
It's Danger Man.
Okay.
Okay. And which actor played John Drake in the series Danger Man?
Jason someone.
No, it's Patrick McGowan. Okay. What is the chemical symbol for lead?
EB.
Crime. The surname, please, of the famous Edinburgh body snatching partners in the 19th century who murdered at least 16 people, most of them old women or men.
Burke and Hare.
Correct. Still on crime. Which major crime took place on the 18th of August 1963, just short of Bridego Bridge near Cheddington in Buckinghamshire?
Great Train Robbery.
Correct. Geology. Of what features is speleology the study?
Caves.
Correct. Proverbs. The journey of 1,000 miles must begin with what?
Single step.
Correct. The EU. The CAP accounts for nearly half of the community's budget. What is the CAP?
Common Agricultural Policy.
Correct. The USA. Portsmouth, Norfolk and Richmond are three of the major cities in which US state?
Virginia.
Correct. In which country is the Kruger National Park, the largest game reserve in the world?
South Africa.
Correct. Who at the age of 59 was the oldest monarch to accede to the British throne in the 20th century?
20th century. Edward VII.
Correct. Science. A body floating in fluid displaces its own weight of fluid. That's a principle named after which ancient Greek mathematician?
Archimedes.
Correct. Which group of islands in the Atlantic is named after the fierce dogs that lived there? The name coming from the Latin word for dogs?
Canary Islands.
Correct. This is the first picture round. Look at this picture and tell me, who is this man, a famous name in football?
It's Terry Venables.
Correct. Horse racing. In which county can you go to the races at Ascot, Windsor and Newbury?
Windsor's in Berkshire, isn't it?
Correct. In which ocean are the islands of Reunion, Mauritius, and Rodriguez?
The Indian.
Correct. Famous couples. Who is the wife of the jazz musician John Dankworth?
Cleo Lane.
Correct. Will Self, the poet, Alex Stewart, the England captain, Trevor Bayliss, the inventor of the clockwork radio, and Timothy Spall, the actor, all appeared for the first time in the 1999 edition of which annual reference book?
Who's Who?
Correct. Motorcars, the Volkswagen. What is the literal English translation of Volkswagen?
People's Wagon.
Yep. And your second picture, this former cabinet minister was known as the Enforcer. What is his name?
Do you know, I know the face, but I can't remember his name, so I can't say.
Okay, that's Jack Cunningham. Which organisation runs the annual Chelsea Flower Show in London?
The Royal Horticultural Society.
Yeah. Where in the South West 1 postal district of London is the famous Annie's Bar to be found?
In the Houses of Parliament.
Correct. The English defeated the French at Agincourt, Joan of Arc was burnt at the stake, and Eton College was founded by Henry V, all in which century?
The 15th century.
Correct. Opera. Which opera by Puccini opens in a Japanese house set in a Japanese garden overlooking Nagasaki?
Madame Butterfly.
Correct. Of which continent are the Seychelles in the Indian Ocean a part?
They're part of Africa.
Correct. By what name is a long case clock more popularly known?
The grandfather clock.
Correct. The Boy Who Wouldn't Grow Up is the subtitle of which famous children's play?
Peter Pan.
Correct. Politics. Which Spanish word meaning council or board is often used for a military government?
Junta.
Yes. In which field of the arts is Vanessa May a famous name?
She's a violinist.
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah. How many witches make a coven?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'd have to guess 3.
13. And the Baker Street Irregulars is a literary society devoted to the study and appreciation of whom?
Sherlock Holmes.
Correct. Michael Smith goes into a share of the lead at the top of the leaderboard with Innes Carson. Chris Grandison is in 3rd place, Barry Humphrey is 4th, and Lucy Reynolds is 5th. With 1 player to go, will anybody emulate Bill McKaig and get the magic score? How did you find the questions in kind of, in terms of how they've dated maybe?
Will Self's poetry is dated very bad.
Yes.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I knew in the back of my head, if you give me longer, I've probably got Danger Man and Patrick McGowan. But the other ones, Jack Cunningham, I just couldn't recognise. Funnily enough, I've been doing Brain of Britain, and the questions are kind of similar period. They don't really ask anything about rap or video games. But that felt, because I've been doing a bit of prep for that, felt much on the same level.
How did you do when you were on in 1991?
I won my episode with a disappointing 61 points. I can only remember the question I got wrong at the end, which was, what was peculiar about Odin's horse? To which, what's the answer, Gareth? You'll be able to tell us.
It's got something like 6 legs, hasn't it, or something like that?
8 legs.
8 legs, yeah.
Which I did not know, but I think technically makes it a spider. So zoologically. But what I've got a nice picture of me shaking hands with William D. Stewart in my bathroom. But they never invited me back. See you in the QLL, perhaps.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Okay, take care. See ya.
Bye.